Chapter 401. It's really not easy to be the First Lady. However, although Gu Jingze looked angry, he did not actually do anything to Lin Che. It was really surprising. Lin Che only remembered that Yang Lingxin was still here after Gu Jingze left. She turned around and her face nearly flushed down to her neck when she thought about how Gu Jingze had kissed her so recklessly just a moment ago. But the only thing she could do now was look at Yang Lingxin. Then it's late now. Take your things. Let's go. Yang Lingxin looked at Lin Che in surprise. Sister Che, are you angry with President Gu? Lin Che fiddled with her ear in embarrassment. It's just a small matter. Astonished, Yang Lingxin asked, but why didn't you go back with President Gu just now? I just want to stay at Yoren's for a few days. All right then, but on account of President Gu coming all the way here, don't be angry with him anymore, Yang Lingxin said. Lin Che stayed silent as she looked straight ahead and sighed. So what if the matter still weighed on her mind? To be honest, she was not really that angry anymore. However, she still felt uncomfortable. She figured that the feeling of discomfort would probably disappear in a few days. Lin Che said, I'm not angry anymore. However, Yang Lingxin replied, really? Then why didn't you return with President Gu? I'm really not angry anymore. Some very complicated things happened. Anyway, you won't understand. Let's go. Yang Lingxin watched Lin Che get into the car. As her house was not on the way, she did not get in and was planning to take the subway home. However, once the car left, she mumbled to herself unhappily while thinking to herself, Gu Jingze had actually personally come to persuade her to go back, but she had still refused to return. How could she behave like this when Gu Jingze had come in person? She thought that Gu Jingze was already being respectful towards her by seeking her out. Why did a man as great as Gu Jingze have to cajole her? But she was still not satisfied and actually refused to go back. She was being a little too unreasonable. Of course, Lin Che did not know that Yang Lingxin thought this way. In no time, she returned to Shen Yoren's place. Shen Yoren was so confused. She knew that Gu Jingze had gone to look for Lin Che with resolute determination. She had thought that he would bring Lin Che home even if he had to sling her over his shoulder and carry her home, but she had unexpectedly come back here. Lin Che recounted the incident to Shen Yoren. She said that she had told Gu Jingze to leave first and that she was coming here to stay for a few days. Shen Yoren said incredulously, you're the only person who would dare to treat Gu Jingze this way. Lin Che was taking up Shen Yoren's entire bed. What did I do? Shen Yoren said, but you're not wrong. The two of you are a married couple. What kind of husband and wife cares about their status? It's totally normal for a husband to cajole his wife. It's fine for a wife to play hard to get to. Life is only fun like this. But if other people see you treat Gu Jingze this way, they'll definitely be frightened to death, you know. Lin Che said, I didn't do anything either. I already told him that I'm just coming to stay with you for a few days. Yes. You didn't do anything. You merely made Gu Jingze go home and continue to stay in an empty house. Seriously, Gu Jingze is so attractive. Aren't you afraid that you'll be giving other women the chance to seduce Gu Jingze by staying at my house for a few days? Forget it. I don't need a man who's so easily seduced either. Lin Che flipped herself over and thought to herself that Gu Jingze indeed attracted female attention very easily. Shen Yoren said, say whatever you want now. I'll see if you can control your tears when someone really snatches him from you. Yu Minmin was seated at the writing desk in the glazed tile palace as she listened to her etiquette teacher's class. Her attitude was courteous and respectful, but at the same time, she was absolutely strict. There were some things that Yu Minmin had difficulties learning. After all, she was of humble origin and really did not quite understand these formalities. The etiquette teacher looked at Yu Minmin disbelievingly and could only say, Miss Yu, you're the future female master of the glazed tile palace. Time is tight right now, but you still haven't improved a lot. It looks like I'll have to allocate more time for your studies. What? I have to study some more? Yu Minmin was already studying until the wee hours of the morning every day. If she had to study more, did that mean that she would not be allowed to sleep? The etiquette teacher placed a pile of documents in front of her. Yes, Miss Yu, These are the materials for your lessons tonight. I'm afraid that you can't sleep unless you finish reading them. Yu Minmin really felt that she was about to go mad when she looked at the high stack of documents. Left with no choice, she could only look at the teacher pitifully. Can I skimp on a few documents? She had only slept 4 hours a night for many days in a row. However, the teacher remained firm. You must finish it today, Miss Yu. After she finished speaking, she seated herself in the room and watched Yu Minmin study. Yu Minmin gritted her teeth. Her only thought was that it was really not easy to be Madam President. See nation's history, founding story, political structure, and its ties with other countries. Yu Minmin's mind was filled with all the information, but the material was dry and uninteresting and it was really difficult for her to continue studying. When she was halfway through, the teacher said that she could move about a little. Yu Minmin thought that there was some fun activity planned and quickly stood up. However, she saw the maids quickly take out a very form-fitting dress that was tight around the hips and a pair of stilettos that were more than 10 centimeters high. The teacher said sternly, "You can wear these and walk around." "These? How am I supposed to wear these? The heels are way too high," Yu Minmin said incredulously. The teacher continued sternly, "That's right. But this is something that you must wear. In the future, you'll often have to wear similar attire whenever you meet someone. You must get used to it." Yu Minmin had no choice but to change into the attire while clenching her teeth. However, the clothing was so tight that Yu Minmin felt as if she was about to suffocate. Furthermore, the heels were too high and made her feel as if she would seriously fall at any moment. After Yu Minmin had changed her entire outfit, everyone looked at her and could not help but feel that actually, she still looked very proper, but because Yu Minmin usually wore loose-fitting clothing, they could not tell that Yu Minmin's breasts were alarmingly huge. They were at least a D cup. As a result, the formal attire accentuated the bulge at her chest. Her curves were really too erotic. Furthermore, it went without saying that Yu Minmin looked stunning when she actually groomed herself. It was probably because she was very slim and her breasts were disproportionately large that she looked even more beautiful. Yu Minmin did not seem to sense everyone's eyes on her. The high heels made it so difficult for her to walk that she was already completely engrossed in dealing with it. She held the wall for support as she walked. The teacher said frustratedly, "Miss Yu, you have to let go of the wall. If you keep holding it, how are you going to learn to walk properly?" Fine. I won't hold it." Yu Minmin quickly released her hold slightly. However, the moment she let go, she lost her balance instantly. "Ah, help," Yu Minmin shouted and fell face forward immediately. Just then, a figure was coincidentally walking towards her. Unexpectedly, she fell onto him. The people around them instantly let out a collective gasp. Mr. President was here. And Yu Minmin had not only been lagging behind in her lessons, but she had also actually fallen directly onto Mr. President. Yu Minmin was out of sorts from the fall. When she looked up, her eyes happened to meet Gu Jingming's deep eyes. Only then did Yu Minmin realize that she had not fallen on the ground, but directly onto Gu Jingming's body in such a sprawling manner. Gu Jingming looked down at her from his high vantage point. With a cold gaze, he asked, "What exactly are you doing?" Chapter 402. This president is so stern. He was supporting her arm with his hand. Yu Minmin hastily stood up straight and did not dare to touch his clothes again. "I'm sorry. I fell down by accident." Gu Jingming glowered down at her. At the side, the teacher frantically explained, "Mr. President, it's our fault for not teaching Miss Yu well. Please punish us if you must, Mr. President." Yu Minmin wanted to say that it had nothing to do with them. However, she lifted her head only to see that everyone had their hands clasped together in front of them and their heads down low. The temperature in the room seemed to have dropped significantly all of a sudden. Seeing that they were all behaving in the same manner, Yu Minmin dared not say anything either and could only lower her head like they were doing. Gu Jingming swept his eyes over all of them and said without mincing his words, "Do you know what the consequences would be if she fell down like this at a parliament banquet?" Everyone was even more afraid to lift their heads up and they bent their heads even lower. Gu Jingming was still holding Yu Minmin up. However, he said sternly to them, "Get out. Go look for the steward to have your pay docked." Did he have to dock their pay over such a small matter? She had clearly been the one who had not learned well. What did it have to do with them? Yu Minmin looked on as they rushed out despondently. Then, she hastily said to Gu Jingming, "Actually, I'm the one who didn't learn it properly. You don't have to fault them for it. It has nothing to do with them." Gu Jingming looked at Yu Minmin. "If you sympathize with them, then learn how to behave. If you don't want them to be punished again, it's best for you to learn how to stand in front of the cameras properly within a week." Yu Minmin looked at Gu Jingming. He was a total tyrant. Fancy the media praising him so highly and even calling Gu Jingming some warm-hearted man. What nonsense. Yu Minmin felt once again that their circle was the fakest, not the entertainment industry. "I'll work hard at it. But I don't have the basics down, so I'll take a longer time. Anyway, I'll work hard at it, so don't punish them anymore," Yu Minmin said. Gu Jingming looked at her. "I spent a lot of money hiring them to work quickly. That's enough. The most important thing is for you to do what you're supposed to." Yu Minmin was about to speak again, but Gu Jingming discovered that something was amiss. What was she wearing? Although she was wearing a very proper black blazer and a white blouse inside with a skirt that wrapped around her hips, why did it look so strange on her body? He looked her up and down and finally realized what was wrong. Her chest. Yu Minmin had mid-length hair that ended at her shoulders. It was in its natural black color and was not dyed at all. Her initial sloppy appearance had changed as she had been dressed by professionals. Right now, she looked extremely refreshing. Her legs were slender and long, and her small waist was accentuated by the skirt that wrapped tightly around it. Her breasts were also more noticeable as they were supported. Gu Jingming's eyes paused before shifting elsewhere. He said to the person behind him, "Tell the stylist to come here tomorrow and change some of Miss Yu's clothes." "Yes, Mr. President." Gu Jingming glanced at her one last time and swept his eyes over the learning materials in the room before turning to leave. At last, Yu Minmin could relax. She felt that whenever Gu Jingming was around, the maids around her would also feel more stifled. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief when they saw Gu Jingming leave. They then looked at Yu Minmin. Yu Minmin sighed, "Mr. President is a little too stern and way too strict. It's not the teacher's fault. It's mine, seriously." All at once, the maids said, "That's not it. You'll be appearing in front of the cameras for the first time next week." Because time is a bit tight, Professor Chin and some of the other professors were specially hired from overseas. Mr. President has really put in a lot of effort for Miss Yu's sake. Hearing this, Yu Minmin instinctively asked, "If they're hired from overseas, aren't they all very brilliant teachers?" "Yes. Professor Chin is M Nation's royal etiquette teacher. She works exclusively for the royal family." Yu Minmin's mouth did not close for a long time. Was she actually being treated like royalty? Just then, the teacher returned. When she thought of the fact that this young-looking girl worked for the royal family, Yu Minmin immediately felt deep respect for her and began to study more diligently. However, the materials were really difficult to understand. It was indeed impossible to stuff so much knowledge into her brain within such a short time. Yu Minmin studied until 2 in the morning and only slept then. The next day, she was woken up at 5 in the morning. She was in a daze and felt as if she was really about to die. However, the maid told her that Mr. President was having breakfast in the glazed tile palace, so she had to hurry there too. As Gu Jingming had been too busy during this period, he had only come here a few times. Today was actually his first time eating breakfast in the glazed tile palace. Yu Minmin quickly tidied up her room. With the help of the maids, she dressed herself up early in the morning so that she looked simple yet beautiful, and refreshing yet proper. Then, they pushed her out of her room. Outside the glazed tile palace, the food would be tested and placed on the dining table if no problems were found. The table was long and decorated with an exquisite tablecloth. Plates of various sizes sparkled under the crystals overhead. Gu Jingming was the only one sitting at the huge table. Everyone else stood by with their eyes fixed on him as he ate. However, Gu Jingming seemed not to care at all. It was obvious that he was used to it. "Good morning," Yu Minmin greeted. Seeing as everyone looked at her strangely but no one replied, Yu Minmin could only put her hand down awkwardly. When she walked to the dining table, a maid pulled out the chair for her and she sat across Gu Jingming. Gu Jingming did not even lift his head. With the chopsticks between his long and slender fingers, he ate elegantly. Like a cat, his movements were slow and graceful. Every expression and action seemed like it was part of a seamless performance. Yu Minmin gazed at Gu Jingming. To be honest, she felt that he was fairly handsome. His eyes alone were enough to send anyone into a daze. His thin lips befitted his harsh personality. His body was ramrod straight, his fingers were long and slender, and his back was broad. The black suit he was wearing suited him extremely well. As she sat there and looked at the man across from her, she sighed internally. It was no wonder that he was the most popular president in the country. She thought of the countless admirers he had on his official website who were nearly smitten by him. She also thought of the numerous youngsters who had begun paying attention to politics because of him when they had previously been apathetic. She nearly fell into a trance as she watched his smooth and natural motions. This occurred until he glanced at her and asked with a frown, "Why are you staring at me?" Yu Minmin was immediately jolted back to her senses. She quickly looked down and thought to her chagrin that she had unexpectedly been transfixed by a man to the point where she seemed besotted. The worst thing was that he had discovered it. She hastily said, "Ah, it's nothing, I'm observing how you eat." Gu Jingming stared at her and made no comment. He put down the soup spoon in his hand. "Don't go anywhere today. If you can't finish the lesson materials by this weekend, you'll bear the consequences yourself." Seriously. No matter how handsome he was just a demon. A completely cold-hearted demon. Chapter 403, The Chairman's Courting Methods. Yu Minmin called Lin Che to inform her that she would not be able to go to the company. For the time being, she would probably have to study in the glazed tile palace. She took the chance to also complain about how twisted Gu Jingming was. Lin Che was extremely shocked as well. "Older brother seems like a pretty nice person. I'm sure he's not as scary as you say." Yu Minmin said, "I've finally seen Satan in the flesh. In the past, I thought that it was just a legend, but now, I believe that it's completely real. Satan is precisely Gu Jingming." Lin Che laughed out loud and said, "If the president's fans hear you calling him by his name, they'll definitely attack you. But you haven't seen how scared everyone is of him. Furthermore, there are numerous rules I have to follow and you can't imagine how thick my learning materials are. Gu Jingming is so handsome, but his personality turned out to be so terrible in reality. What a waste of a handsome face. It's a pity that I can't expose his true colors to everyone. Otherwise, I sure would like to see whether anyone would still like him for real." Alright, just endure it. But they're really going to announce the wedding date next week. Are you prepared for it? Yu Minmin said doubtfully, "I haven't thought about it at all. Every day, my head is spinning from all the studying. Alright, I'll hang up first. The teacher is calling for me." Lin Che ended the call. Shen Yoren was eating noodles beside her and said, "No way. It sounds as if Yu Minmin is having a miserable time, but Mr. President can't be that frightening. Perhaps he's really different in private." Lin Che continued, "But in any case, I don't think it's scary." Shen Yoren said, "It's because you've met too many people. But it really is intriguing. Amongst the people around me, one is Gu Jingze's wife and one is about to become Madam President. The people that everyone can only talk about on the television and the internet every day are actually within my reach right now. I feel like I'm superior to everyone else when I see someone talking about them. That's going too far." However, just then, they suddenly heard a sound outside. Shen Yoren jumped up immediately and said, "I think something is happening outside. I'll go and take a look." Shen Yoren opened the door only to hear people discussing. "I wonder who's moving in. I saw many luxury cars downstairs. There were many people too." "Luxury cars?" Shen Yoren quickly pulled one of them to her and asked, "Auntie, what happened outside?" The neighbor pointed downstairs and said, "You missed it. Just now, someone said that an extraordinarily handsome man had arrived. Many cars, each worth millions, were parked downstairs. They also moved a lot of furniture upstairs. Dear me, I'm going to take a look. I wonder who he is, how old he is, and whether he's married or not. My daughter is beautiful and young. I'll introduce her to him." Lin Che heard the commotion too. She could not control herself and came out to take a look. "Who moved in?" I don't know, but I have a bad feeling about this, Shen Yoren said as she walked to the window by the corridor with Lin Che. This apartment complex had several large passageways. It was a small apartment complex that had more than 20 apartments along one passageway. As a result, they could see that there were many people who had come out to bask in the excitement. The two of them leaned against the window and looked down. Who else could the people downstairs be but people from the Gu family? Shen Yoren saw that they were really moving things upstairs. Around them, the onlookers were gesticulating wildly. Every one of those old women, each with plenty of time on their hands, was especially excited. Behind them, people were walking up the stairs. One of them even said, "I've lived for so long, but I've never seen such a big spectacle. Who is he? I heard my girl say that just one of the cars downstairs is worth more than 10 million. It's called a Bentley or something. It's really impressive." Shen Yoren looked on in a daze as those people moved the expensive and high-grade furniture upstairs. She looked sideways at Lin Che beside her. Gu Jingze, did Gu Jingze buy an apartment here? Before Lin Che could even muster a response, she heard a calm voice speak from behind her. "What are you standing here looking at?" Gu Jingze. When the two girls turned their heads, they saw Gu Jingze standing tall behind them as he looked calmly at them. After Lin Che regained her bearings, she immediately pointed downstairs and asked, "What's all this, Gu Jingze?" Gu Jingze replied, "What? I thought that what you said was completely right. After living in the house for so long, I didn't feel too comfortable either. So I came to try staying here for a few days." Shen Yoren's hand was already over her mouth. A wealthy man's method of cajoling a woman was also as expensive as was expected. Lin Che said, "Are you going to live here?" Lin Che quickly rushed after Gu Jingze. She followed him step by step as he headed straight for the apartment beside Shen Yoren's. "So this is the apartment you're staying in?" "I've moved in," he said. "Hey, this place is really small. It's enough to live in. Furthermore, the security here isn't good. It's too dangerous for you." Gu Jingze turned his head around. "My security guards will follow me wherever I go. You don't have to worry." Then. However, Gu Jingze had already opened the door. Sure enough, Lin Che saw that the interior had been completely refurbished with brand new furniture. The small apartment was decorated very extravagantly. Although it was small, it was obviously exquisite. Indeed, he was Gu Jingze. It only took such a short time for him to make the house so perfect. It looked like he had really made up his mind to stay here. Gu Jingze said, "I'll look for you again in a while after I've finished tidying up." He closed the door directly when he finished speaking. Outside, Lin Che stood frozen. She still felt as if she was dreaming. He had moved so fast that she was unable to react. At this moment, Shen Yoren said incredulously from behind her, "No way. Gu Jingze is way too fast. Lin Che, Gu Jingze is really persistent, but he's doing all this for you. I didn't think that Gu Jingze could be so romantic from time to time." Lin Che glared at her. However, she herself had not expected Gu Jingze to come here without informing her. In no time, Shen Yoren gathered a lot of information from those aunts again and came back to the room to tell Lin Che, "I heard that the previous owners of the apartment beside ours were unbelievably lucky. The hell, Gu Jingze gave them a huge house with 3 rooms and 2 halls. It was completely furnished, so they moved out happily. Of course, they'd move out. They're not fools. The floor area of this small apartment is only 50 square meters, but the one they moved to has a floor area of more than 100 square meters. That house probably cost at least 2 million yuan. If it were me, I would have moved out too." Lin Che had not imagined either that Gu Jingze would actually waste his time and money just to live here. Right now, she was holding her forehead and leaning against the wall. She was still listening to Shen Yoren's chatter. Although she felt that he had suffered too much to be here, she could not help but feel that it was a little romantic. Shen Yoren said, "Good lord, I wonder how the great President Gu feels living in a small apartment complex with passageways like this. Come to think of it, just your bathroom alone is 50 square meters, right? How can it be that big? It's probably about 30 square meters, Lin Che said after thinking about it seriously. Get lost. What's the difference? Just then, someone knocked on the door. Chapter 404. This is a man with a wife, all right. Shen Yoren jumped up instantly and hastily said, "It must be Gu Jingze. Good lord, my place is frighteningly messy. I really don't want President Gu to see this mess. Tell me, can the two of you be affectionate next door instead?" Lin Che glared at her but hastily went to open the door anyway. Sure enough, when she opened the door, she saw Gu Jingze standing outside alone. He looked at Lin Che with clear eyes that seemed to hold an oceanic whirlpool. She fell into his eyes so easily. Lin Che said, "What? Are you two not going to eat?" he asked coolly. Without waiting for Lin Che's response, Shen Yoren quickly said from behind her, "Of course, we're going to eat. President Gu, you really have such good timing. We were just about to go eat something. President Gu, do you want to come with us? What do you want to eat?" Gu Jingze glanced at Lin Che. "I'm fine with whatever. What are you guys eating?" Shen Yoren asked, "Why don't we just cook something? Oh right, how about hot pot? We happen to have the sauce here." Huh, Lin Che quickly glanced at Gu Jingze. It seemed like he had not had hot pot before. Inside the house, Shen Yoren asked, "Why? Does President Gu not like hot pot?" Lin Che was just about to say that it probably wouldn't suit Gu Jingze's taste buds when Gu Jingze said, "I'm fine with anything. Let's eat." Hearing this, Shen Yoren immediately got up and said, "That's great. We'll go and buy some ingredients to cook now. There's a supermarket just beside the complex." Lin Che looked at Shen Yoren's extremely quick actions and shook her head speechlessly. This Shen Yoren was not usually so quick and decisive. The three of them headed downstairs together. Gu Jingze was in the front as Lin Che and Shen Yoren trailed behind him. Even while they were in the elevator, Shen Yoren was deciding what ingredients to buy. Just then, the elevator stopped and someone stepped in. The moment she saw Gu Jingze, her eyes immediately brightened. She was completely unaffected by the fact that Lin Che and Shen Yoren were looking at her and stared straight at Gu Jingze. When the elevator reached the first floor, she finally could not hold it in any longer and hastily said, "Dear me, aren't you the person who just moved in today?" Gu Jingze paused before realizing that this aunt was talking to him. These old wives were usually not interested in any celebrity gossip, much less financial news. Naturally, they did not know anything about the Gu family. As she looked at the man before her, she simply felt that he had to be brilliant, and he even looked so dashing. He made her smile until she was squinting. She looked at Gu Jingze and said, "You're so handsome. Are you married?" Gu Jingze glanced at Lin Che. As a person who was not good with words, right now, he did not know how to respond to this enthusiastic woman. Without waiting for his reply, the aunt hurriedly said, "My daughter is only 24 years old. She graduated from our B city's Q University. She's a local. Why don't you take a look? It's a pity that I don't have a photo of her with me right now. But we're staying in the same complex. Why don't you come to my house tonight? You'll know it when you see her. My daughter suits you particularly well." She was already beginning to pull strings to get herself a son-in-law. Shen Yoren and Lin Che stared speechless at one another. When they lifted their heads to look at Gu Jingze, they saw that he was still looking at the woman with a poker face. Lin Che thought to herself that this evil thing could seriously attract everyone's attention wherever he went. His attractiveness did not cease for a moment. Just then, other aunts outside from the same apartment complex noticed them too. Seeing that this woman had already gone up to them, the aunts, refusing to be outdone, quickly surrounded them as well. "Young chap, why did you move here? Lad, which company do you work at? Who says he works at a company? Someone said that he owns a company. Young man, does your family own a company? You're seriously intolerable. I was just speaking to him here. Why did you guys come over and interfere? What, are you the only one allowed to curry favor with him for your daughter's sake? Are we not allowed to? Young man, my niece is prettier than her daughter. She even graduated from a university overseas. Hey, you, why must you be like this? So what if she graduated from a university overseas?" Everyone immediately began to bustle with excitement. Shen Yoren and Lin Che stood at the side and watched on in complete amazement. These aunts who had nothing to do after retiring. Finally, Shen Yoren could not take it anymore and said without mincing her words, Hey aunties, I'm telling you. All of you, stop wasting your energy. This man has a wife, alright. He's already married, okay. The noisy aunts turned their heads to her all at once. Shen Yoren pushed Lin Che forward. His wife is here, what are you guys doing? The aunts had been preoccupied with looking at Gu Jingze's handsome face. Of course, they had not noticed Lin Che, who stayed at the side and maintained a low profile in her baseball cap. Having been pushed to the front at this moment, Lin Che could only lift her head a little and smile wordlessly at the aunts. The aunts turned silent and looked Lin Che up and down. Although they did feel that she was very stunning, they nevertheless sized her up with disdain. They were not pleased with the fact that Gu Jingze actually had a wife despite his fairly youthful appearance. They said, "Dear me. Since you already have a wife, there's no helping it. We'll see if there's an opportunity in the future." Hey, what opportunity are you talking about? They'll live happily together for the rest of their lives. Mind your words. Shen Yoren was furious. Lin Che simply drew in a deep breath. After the aunts left with their tails between their legs, she lifted her head and looked at Gu Jingze awkwardly. "I told you not to come." Gu Jingze raised his eyebrows. "Let's go." Alright then. The only option was to continue walking. They arrived at the supermarket within a very short time. They bought lots of ingredients and scanned the shelves for some daily necessities. Shen Yoren constantly walked in front of Lin Che and Gu Jingze and did not loiter around them while Lin Che pushed the cart. Lin Che suddenly looked up at Gu Jingze beside her and asked, "Why did you come here? Didn't you see that the apartment complex was a mess? The apartments are so small. Is it true that you've never lived in such a small apartment? I'll consider it an experience." Gu Jingze continued, "Besides the fact that it's small, everything else is alright. This place is so crowded too. It's like a dormitory." "Then I'll experience what it's like to live in a dormitory," he said while looking down. "Fine then, since the great President Gu had said so." After a long time, they finally finished buying whatever they needed and headed back. Although those aunts who were out on a stroll were no longer coming up to them to ask all sorts of questions, the aunts nevertheless looked at them curiously. Their audacity was astounding. As they scrutinized the three of them, they were even brazenly talking about them without trying to keep it a secret at all. It was obvious from a glance that they were talking about Lin Che and Gu Jingze. The three of them instantly felt even more embarrassed and did not know where to avert their eyes. Fortunately, they arrived at Shen Yoren's place in no time. Because Shen Yoren had all sorts of condiments in her apartment, she immediately began to cook. Thus, they did not head over to Gu Jingze's. Shen Yoren watched Gu Jingze walk in and sit on the small couch. Then, she said secretively to Lin Che, "Gu Jingze's legs are so long. Look, my small couch is literally torture to Gu Jingze." Chapter 405, President, don't get fresh with me, alright. Lin Che turned around. Gu Jingze's legs were certainly long. Shen Yoren said, "In addition, Gu Jingze is actually in my house. Good lord, if the estate agent finds out and later advertises this place as a place where Gu Jingze lived, I wonder if the price of this house will rise dramatically." "That's enough. Hurry up." Lin Che quickly pulled the excited Shen Yoren back towards her. Shen Yoren carefully prepared the hot pot. The three of them sat around the small dining table and Shen Yoren said in embarrassment, "President Gu, I'm sorry this place is so shabby." Gu Jingze looked at the table and said, "It's fine." Shen Yoren said, "The food isn't particularly good either. It's just hot pot. You can help yourself to the food." Lin Che looked inside the pot. The watery substance looked a little ugly. She looked up at Gu Jingze and said, "Shen Yoren is one of us. If you don't like it, you can tell her frankly." Gu Jingze looked at the pot but said, "No, it's not that I don't like it. I've never tried something like this before. I want to try it too." Seeing that Gu Jingze was being so nice, Shen Yoren truly felt that she was on cloud 9. His attitude was really great. It was too great. As Gu Jingze ate the food cooked in the pot, he thought that it actually tasted pretty good. He looked up and saw the two of them eating very enthusiastically and enjoying the food despite the fact that the food was extremely hot and spicy. He was amused by the sight. Gu Jingze finished his meal very quickly. The food was so spicy that his eyes turned completely red. Lin Che continued pouring him water. How do you feel? Do you still feel the spiciness? It's alright, I'm fine. The spicy hot pot we had last time wasn't as bad as this. It must be very spicy for you, right? He recalled the spicy hot pot they had eaten before. He still remembered the special method she had used back then to help him get rid of the spiciness. The special method was using her saliva. His eyes burned with desire as he looked at Lin Che. That gaze was really. From the side, the sight almost gave Shen Yoren goosebumps. These two were rubbing her singlehood in her face, despite the fact that they had clearly not resolved their argument completely yet. Just then, there was another knock on the door. Lin Che wondered who would be here at this hour. Shen Yoren was the first to stand up and open the door. When she opened the door to see Yang Lingxin, she got momentarily surprised. Hey, why are you here? Yang Lingxin hastily said, oh, I came by to give Sister Che something. The script for tomorrow's scenes has been edited. Sister Minmin hasn't been around lately, so I'm the one running the errands right now. I knew that Sister Che would be here, so I quickly. She lifted her head only to see that Gu Jingze was actually here. He sat at the simple dining table, but even the shabbiest room could not dampen his alarmingly strong presence. Yang Lingxin froze. She had not expected Gu Jingze to be here in the flesh. Lin Che quickly stood up. Oh, little Shin, it's been hard on you. Do you want to eat something? We were just eating hot pot. Yang Lingxin herself had noticed it. For a moment, she regretted not coming here a little earlier. I've already eaten and you guys have probably already finished eating. That was indeed true. Lin Che smiled in embarrassment. On the other hand, Gu Jingze had already stood up. Alright, I'll go back first and rest. Upon seeing this, Shen Yoren quickly ran to Lin Che and pulled her to her feet. Quick, accompany President Gu. It's such a short distance. Why do I have to escort him? Lin Che frowned at being pushed and looked at Gu Jingze as she blushed. A short distance. Yang Lingxin looked at the two of them strangely. Shen Yoren pushed Lin Che out forcefully. Anyone who comes to your house is a guest. Don't you have any manners? Furthermore, President Gu may not be used to this environment since he just came here. You should accompany him to his place and properly familiarize him with his new neighborhood. It wouldn't be good if he didn't know how to use the bathroom or something. Gu Jingze looked at her. Without another word, he walked out in large strides. This Shen Yoren was obviously trying to give them an opportunity to be alone. It made them feel so awkward. Nevertheless, Lin Che could only follow him out. Once they were outside, Gu Jingze tilted his head and looked at Lin Che. Lin Che said awkwardly, alright, you should go back. Quote. However, Gu Jingze suddenly grabbed her wrist and stopped her from leaving. Lin Che hastily asked, what are you doing? There are so many people living here. Gu Jingze smiled and pulled Lin Che to him in one swift motion. Then, he pushed her against the wall. So what if there are many people around? I'm being intimate with my own wife. What does it have to do with them? After pushing her directly against the wall, he pressed his head down low. He looked at her and said with his lips brushing her ear, I can still feel the spiciness. Won't you help me relieve it? Lin Che froze. Then, she suddenly recalled the last time they had had spicy hot pot. He had also found it spicy, following which he simply. Lin Che blushed furiously. He had better not do the same thing here. She asked frantically, you, did you come here for this purpose? No way. I said before that I came here just to experience what it's like to live in an apartment complex. Then, what are you doing now? Lin Che looked at Gu Jingze incredulously. Gu Jingze simply felt that he had missed her very much. He felt like this after not seeing her for just a day. This sense of longing was really terrible. In addition, he felt this way despite the way she had treated him. If any other woman dared to treat him this way, he would have exiled her from C Nation a long time ago. She could be as haughty as she wanted in the Sahara Desert. However, despite how rebellious she had been towards him repeatedly, he still missed her and even rushed here eagerly to seek her out. How could he feel good about this? Especially when he was a person who was so used to being worshipped. But even though she was so angry with him, He, nevertheless, missed her and wanted to come here to appease her. I'm going to experience what it's like to live in an apartment and at the same time experience what it's like to do it here, he smiled and said by her ear. Hearing this, Lin Che's face turned even redder. She raised her hand and hit his shoulder. What a nuisance. Move aside, move aside. Who wants to go to your apartment? Go and live there by yourself. I want to share a bed with Yorin and talk to her. Can't you talk to me instead? Gu Jingze's face was pulled tight. I can't. You'll just get fresh with me. You definitely won't have a decent conversation with me. Nonsense. If you let me touch you, I'll be able to have a decent chat with you afterwards. You creep. Move aside. There are plenty of women who desire you. You can chat with them instead. Get lost. Don't hinder my bonding time with Shen Yoren. Lin Che aimed another kick at his calf. Although Gu Jingze did not find it painful, it still elicited a whine from him. His eyes fell on the woman behind him. He turned his head around. It was only then that Lin Che realized that someone had been watching from behind them. Yang Lingxin had walked out of Shen Yoren's room at some point in time. As she stood at the doorway and looked at the two of them, her face stiffened slightly in an awkward manner. Lin Che blushed even more furiously. Had Yang Lingxin seen everything that had happened earlier? Chapter 406. It's only right to treat his own wife a little better. She seriously felt so bashful. Why was Gu Jingze doing this to her here? Lin Che pushed Gu Jingze away forcefully and asked Yang Lingxin, "Little Shin, what's up?" Only then did Yang Lingxin register what was happening and responded to her, "It's nothing. I just wanted to tell you about the categories of those documents, but..." At this moment, Shen Yoren realized that Yang Lingxin was actually outside. She came out in a haste and pulled her swiftly back into the house. She had just been clearing the dishes earlier and was completely unaware that Yang Lingxin had gone out. This girl was so tactless. Any person with good sense would be able to tell that Shen Yoren was giving the two of them some time alone. She did not expect that Yang Lingxin would actually interfere with her plan. She pulled Yang Lingxin into the house. "Continue with whatever you two were doing. Continue. We'll go in and clear the dishes." Yang Lingxin pushed Shen Yoren's hand away when she stepped into the house. "What are you doing?" Shen Yoren looked at her with her hands on her hips. They were being intimate outside. Why were you watching them? Yang Lingxin recalled the intimate scene she had seen earlier. Feeling slightly uncomfortable, the expression on her face became even more awkward. This was the second time she saw them be so intimate in front of her. The first time, Gu Jingze had kissed Lin Che without hesitation despite the people around them. That sensuous scene had already surprised everyone. Now, the two of them had again given her such a show. The way Gu Jingze had directly pushed Lin Che against the wall was so dashing. Yang Lingxin's mouth twitched. She asked, "But why is President Gu here?" Shen Yoren said, "Of course, he came to look for Lin Che. What else would he come here for?" Yang Lingxin asked, "Did he come here to coax Sister Che into going back?" "No, you don't even know how much a romantic he is. He simply bought the apartment beside ours and moved in. Goodness, it's definitely my first time seeing someone cajole his wife this way." "Huh, did he actually buy the apartment beside this one? Why is Sister Che still refusing to go back? President Gu came all the way here to seek her out. Is he planning to stay here too?" Shen Yoren thought that Yang Lingxin was poking her nose too far into Lin Che's affairs. She looked at Yang Lingxin and said, "This is the romance between the two of them. They're a married couple. There are bound to be some hiccups in married life. These hiccups will create some romance. Besides, there's nothing bad about this place. It's just an apartment. It doesn't seem like Gu Jingze dislikes it." Yang Lingxin seemed to realize that she was interfering too much. She hastily said, "I was just worried that Sister Che was being too difficult. It might irk President Gu." Hearing this, Shen Yoren looked at Yang Lingxin with even more irritation and said rudely, "No matter how difficult Lin Che is, Gu Jingze will never be annoyed. Do you know why?" "Why?" Yang Lingxin really wanted to know. Shen Yoren said, "Because Lin Che is Gu Jingze's wife. His wife, do you understand? Gu Jingze dotes on Lin Che so much. Why would he be irked by such a small matter? Do you think that she's just anyone to him?" Shen Yoren's blunt words shocked Yang Lingxin. Indeed, Gu Jingze was really very tolerant of Lin Che. Yang Lingxin pursed her lips and did not speak another word. However, Shen Yoren began to thoroughly dislike Yang Lingxin. She narrowed her eyes at her for a long time before saying, "If there's nothing else, you can go first. Leave the documents here. I'll remind Lin Che about them later." Even though Lin Che may not return so quickly. She intentionally worded her statement in such a suggestive manner. In response, Yang Lingxin merely nodded her head. Pursing her lips, she walked out. After seeing that she was gone, Shen Yoren muttered to herself, "Dangerous, dangerous. This Yang Lingxin seems weird." Meanwhile, Yang Lingxin was internally cursing Shen Yoren out. Who did Shen Yoren think she was? If not for Lin Che, she would not have met Chen Yucheng. She would not have become Chen Yucheng's assistant either, nor would she have met Gu Jingze. Ultimately, she would not have gotten the chance to be so arrogant. However, the way Gu Jingze had pressed Lin Che against the wall flashed through her mind repeatedly. Each and every action of Gu Jingze was so captivating. He was no doubt the person she had idolized since she was young. Lin Che accompanied Gu Jingze into his apartment and turned around to leave. But Gu Jingze pulled her back and said, "I don't really know how to use the toilet. Aren't going to help me take a look at it?" I don't know either." "Come on, help me take a look at it. Otherwise, how will I shower?" Gu Jingze spoke into her ear. Lin Che was really weak to Gu Jingze's overly clingy ways. She momentarily felt like she couldn't resist him. Nodding her head carelessly, she stepped through the doorway and said, "Fine, fine. Move aside, let me take a look." Lin Che went in and made space for herself to make sure everything was working fine in the toilet. However, after looking around for a long time, she realized that things were a little complicated. The fast-heating water heater was not the kind she was used to seeing, so she was a little confused and could not get any water to come out even after a long time. However, she sensed that the person behind her was coming closer and closer until she could no longer back away. Lin Che turned around abruptly. His hand had already come up to grasp her by the wrist. The toilet was not as spacious as the one at the Gu residence. It was so small that it felt cramped when he alone was in it. "What exactly are you doing?" "Lin Che, I know that you're still angry and that it still bothers you. But I'm telling you that I'm currently resolving my problem with Lu Chusha." Lin Che froze. Was he trying to explain things to her again? Gu Jingze said, "She has blackmail material that she can use against me. That's why I met her. But I won't meet her in the future. I'll resolve this issue as soon as possible." Lin Che was even more surprised. She looked at him and said, "She has blackmail material against you. Is it serious?" "It's not serious. Don't worry about it," Gu Jingze said. Lin Che thought that no matter what it was, Lin Che would probably be unable to help. She was a useless wife. Lin Che said, "Then, you can't lie to me the next time." "Yes, I won't lie to you ever again." At this moment, Gu Jingze had already lifted her in his arms and was pressing against her. He missed her and wanted her. But Lin Che continued to push him. Did you come here just to do this?" "No, I came here just to explain to you, of course, if I could also use this chance to." No, I don't want it." Lin Che was blushing as she pushed him. If she did not go back in a while, Shen Yoren would definitely know what happened here. Then, she would mock her to death. "Let go of me, I still need to go back there. If you can't use this toilet, just go back. Seriously. Lin Che, are you really going to be so heartless as to not let me touch you? If you really came here to genuinely apologize to me, don't touch me today. Then, I'll believe that you came to apologize." Left with no choice, Lin Che could only use this excuse to block his chest. Gu Jingze looked at her in disbelief. "Do you really not want me to touch you?" "I don't want you to. It's time for you to prove your sincerity." Chapter 407. Scum and scum belong together. Gu Jingze looked at her deeply. This woman would seriously only be satisfied if she tortured him to death. But Gu Jingze, nevertheless, released his hold on Lin Che slowly, but not before kissing her cheek. After he put her down, Lin Che looked at him and glared at him. She said, but the water heater here doesn't work. It's better for you to go back. Gu Jingze stretched out his hand and directly connected the water heater before pressing a few buttons. The water heater immediately started up. Lin Che widened her eyes. Ah, so you know how to use it. Gu Jingze said, of course. There's a user manual right here. Didn't you read it? I read it, but I didn't understand the symbols on it. But have you installed this before? Lin Che found it strange that a CEO like him knew how to install this. Gu Jingze said, do you think everyone else is as stupid as you? These are probably symbols related to physics. I learned them in school. Just follow the manual and install it. Lin Che glared at him and scoffed internally. She thought to herself that he was too much. He clearly knew how to install it but still asked her to come over and help. Gu Jingze did not stop Lin Che from going back. Although he was reluctant to let her go, he, nevertheless, watched her walk through Shen Yoren's door. Seriously, she was probably the only one on earth who could reject him like this. The only person who could challenge him like this was probably her as well. This lass was really becoming more and more audacious. But when he thought about it, she was now becoming increasingly bold, all because he had spoiled her too much. It had gotten to the point where she even dared to make demands of him. It was a pity that he simply could not hold his ground against her. Just then, Lu Chusha called Gu Jingze again. Gu Jingze answered the call and said, what's up? Lu Chusha said, Jingze, you left in a rush immediately after arriving here the last time. This time, there's an opening event being held at my house. Will you attend it? We can continue our unfinished discussion on the same topic. Chusha, your doctor can't solve my problem. I have my own doctor. I've already told you this. Is that so? Then, we should talk about it face to face. Alright, Jingze, I really want to meet you and talk about it in detail. These things are confidential, so I can't mention it to anyone else. I can only clarify my doubts with you. Otherwise, if I ask around everywhere and someone else discovers it, the situation could get even worse. With his phone in hand, Gu Jingze looked straight ahead with an emotionless expression devoid of any warmth. However, there was no sign of anxiety on his face either, although his jet black eyes seemed to deepen as if carefully concealing a secret. Lu Chusha clasped the phone in her hand and thought to herself. Gu Jingze was really becoming more and more indifferent towards her. Could it be that he had already come up with a way to deal with her? But it was probably very difficult to find a good way to resolve this issue. Furthermore, her family had an existing marriage engagement with the Gu family. For his sister's sake, he could not so easily make an enemy of her family. However, after thinking about it, she decided that she still needed a backup plan. Otherwise, her hold over Gu Jingze would be wasted. Her eyes moved and she thought up a plan. The next day, Lin Che was sitting with Gu Jingze at the film site. This time, the venue selected for filming was a very large studio. Besides them, there were many other people filming at the same place. There were many tourists walking in the tourist area outside as well. Gu Jingze and Lin Che were waiting together for their turn. A little later, someone called for Gu Jingze. He left the room, leaving Lin Che alone. Without Yu Minmin to gossip with her, she could only initiate some casual conversation with Yang Lingxin. Just then, a sound traveled from afar. All of you, move aside. Don't you know who I am? I'm Lin Li. Lin Li. Lin Che turned around and saw that it was indeed Lin Li. The security guards stopped her from coming in while saying that she was not from this crew. Because Gu Jingze was with this crew, security was slightly more stringent than that in other film crews. Ordinary people, even if they were actors, would not necessarily be let in easily. Lin Li said, I came to visit someone at work. Can't I do that? I'm Lin Che's sister. All of you should at least know this. Lin Che's brow wrinkled. Yang Lingxin asked, why is she here again? Lin Che was curious too. Nevertheless, she stood up and looked at Lin Li. What did you come here for? Once she saw Lin Che respond, Lin Li pushed the staff aside and strutted inside directly. The staff was very annoyed and glanced at Lin Li in disdain. Lin Li came over to her and said, "My new drama started filming here. The opening ceremony was held today. I saw from the schedule that you were filming here today too. What, are you ashamed to face me? Lin Che, tell me. How exactly did you seduce Qin Qing into actually saying those things in your favor? I really see you in a new light." Hearing this, Yang Lingxin shouted from the side, "Hey, why are you being so rude?" Lin Li immediately responded, "Who do you think you are? I'm talking to Lin Che. What does it have to do with a lackey like you?" Having been insulted, Yang Lingxin's face turned completely red. She pursed her lips in slight unhappiness. Lin Che and Yang Lingxin looked at Lin Li. "Attack me if you must. Why are you making it difficult for the people around me? You're right, Qin Qing is helping me. That's because he doesn't want to be as terrible a person as you are." Lin Li said furiously, "You're the one who seduced Qin Qing first. Don't think that I'm unaware. Since your school days, you were interested in him. Now that you're a little famous, you're seducing him. What method did you use this time to make him help you? Did you sleep with him?" Upon hearing such shameless words leave her lips, Lin Che instinctively raised her hand and aimed it at Lin Li's face. With a slap, Lin Li froze completely. You hit me." Lin Li looked at Lin Che in disbelief. When did this stupid lass get the guts to hit her? She was just an illegitimate daughter of the Lin family, a woman who had been bullied by her from a young age. Lin Che's face was flushed red from anger. "You deserve this slap for insulting me like that." Lin Li's anger rose instantly. "I haven't even held you accountable for causing me to break up with Qin Qing. How dare you hit me? I'm going to hit you, you cheap slut. If you're trying to reduce our family to nothing as part of your revenge, that's impossible. Heaven helps the worthy. Don't even think about knocking me down." In no time, Lin Li and Lin Che were going at each other. The staff was all frozen in shock. They had not expected the two sisters to actually have such fiery tempers. Meanwhile, there were still numerous reporters and fans loitering outside. The staff was momentarily at a loss as to what to do. A few of them rushed forward to hold Lin Li back. After pulling Lin Li off Lin Che, the two of them turned out to be fine. Lin Che's body had been hit a few times and her hair was a little messy from having been pulled. Lin Li was in a similar state. Apart from the mark on her face from having been slapped, every other part of her body was fine. However, the two of them were panting heavily from the fight. From the side, Yang Lingxin said angrily, "Why aren't you getting rid of people like these quickly? If our sister Che's face is injured, can you guys bear the consequences?" Lin Che hastily tugged at Yang Lingxin. This girl was pretty careless with her words. Lin Che was always worrying that she would say something wrong. However, the security guards on the set rushed to pull Lin Li away and was about to drag her off. After all, even though Lin Li had someone backing her up, she was still neither as established nor as famous and recognizable as Lin Che was in this industry. The Lin Li of today was definitely not the Lin Li of the past. However, at this moment, "What's going on here?" A female voice suddenly penetrated the air. Everyone turned their heads to look at the source of the sound. Lu Chusha was actually here. Chapter 408. Let me slap you for Gu Jingze's sake. The moment Lin Li saw Lu Chusha, she ran immediately to her side like a loyal dog. Everyone looked at Lu Chusha and recognized her with surprise. After she had come to look for Gu Jingyu a few days earlier, all of them had already apprised themselves of her status. Naturally, they did not dare to speak carelessly and merely watched on while wondering how these people had gathered together. Lin Li, why was she standing behind Lu Chusha? Lin Che was a little surprised too. However, she immediately realized why Lin Li was so arrogant now. It turned out that these two women were now on the same side. Lu Chusha scoffed and looked at the mark on Lin Li's face. Although she did not care about Lin Li at all, she deliberately said to Lin Che, "Lin Che, what are you trying to do right now? How dare you hurt my female lead like this? Can you bear the consequences if it causes any problem for my television series?" Everyone was frightened into total silence. They had just been thinking that Lin Li was done for this time. However, the Lu family had unexpectedly begun to back her up. In that case, Lin Li had basically met her benefactor. Lin Che said, "She was the one who insulted me first. Everyone saw it." Lu Chusha looked around in a very imposing manner. Oh, let me ask who saw it then. The people behind her immediately cowered into complete silence. No one dared to step on the toes of this young madam. In the event that they offended her, they could forget about surviving in this circle. Behind her, Lin Li felt extremely pleased with herself. As she looked at Lin Che standing all alone there in helplessness, she felt even more strongly that she was truly fortunate to have found such support. Lu Chusha said, "All right, no one saw it, but me. You hit Lin Li." Lin Che smiled mirthlessly. She could not blame these people for acting pragmatically. After all, it was true that ordinary people could not afford to go against Lu Chusha. She asked, "Then, what exactly do you want?" Lu Chusha said, "On account of the mere fact that we're acquainted with one another, I'll let you off with a slap from Lin Li." She looked at Lin Li pointedly and signaled to her to go to Lin Che. Lin Li's eyes twitched and she instantly understood. She was already prepared to use her nails. With one straight slap, she would definitely leave a scar on Lin Che's face. Lin Che had seduced so many men by relying on her pretty face. Lin Li sure wanted to know how she would continue to philander with men with a scar on her face. With an evil smile on her face, Lin Li inched closer and closer. There were still words on the tip of Yang Lingxin's tongue, but at the same time, she did not dare to make her way over when she looked at Lu Chusha. Lin Che looked at Lu Chusha with a humorless smile. "Are you sure that you can treat me this way?" Previously, Lu Chusha still had to be wary of Gu Jingze. However, there was really no need for her to be wary now. She was the one with blackmail material against Gu Jingze. So she simply scoffed and said, "Lin Li, hit her." Lin Li received the command and raised her hand forcefully. However, just then. "Stop right there." Gu Jingyu's voice resounded. Lu Chusha froze. Looking at Gu Jingyu, she asked, "Why are you here?" "There is a small problem that I have to fix." Gu Jingyu looked at their side of the room. After glancing at Lin Che, he looked at the two women over there and walked towards them in large strides. "This place is for my crew. What exactly are you trying to do?" Lu Chusha said, "She hit the female lead in the television series I'm investing in. It's no different from insulting me. I'm about to hit her back right now." Lin Che said, "I told you already that she insulted me first. She deserved that slap I gave her." Gu Jingyu looked at Lu Chusha. "Chusha, she's also my female lead now. What's the difference between you hitting her and you insulting me?" Lu Chusha looked at Gu Jingyu. "Of course, it's different. Who the hell is she? You and I are people who grew up together since we were kids. Shouldn't you be standing on my side?" Gu Jingyu looked at Lin Che. Lin Che was gazing at Lu Chusha unyieldingly. However, she did not want Gu Jingyu to get involved in a confrontation because of her either. She said, "Lu Chusha, it's fine for her to hit me. But you'd best be clear about the price you'll have to pay for this. I'll definitely pay you back in kind and I'll even double it." Lu Chusha scoffed. "I believe that even Gu Jingze wouldn't say a thing if he was here. Don't think so highly of yourself." That's right. At the moment, Lu Chusha had information that she could use to threaten Gu Jingze. And Lin Che did not know about it either. Gu Jingyu frowned. He looked on as Lin Li sneered again and raised her hand. Anticipating the slap, Lin Che pursed her lips and looked at the person in front of her. Since even Gu Jingze was under her control, there was nothing more Lin Che could say. Besides, it was just a slap. However, when Lin Li's hand was about to land on her face, Gu Jingyu grabbed Lin Li's wrist. Lin Li froze. Holding her by the wrist, Gu Jingyu had a dark expression on his face as he pushed her aside without hesitation. Lin Li lost her balance and nearly fell. Lu Chusha's eyes stopped moving. "Gu Jingyu, what are you doing?" Immediately, Gu Jingyu said firmly, "I don't care what grudge you have against Lin Che. Here, Lin Che is my actress and my friend. I won't allow you to hit her in front of me." "You Gu Jingyu, are you mad? What is she to you that you're actually opposing me because of her?" Lu Chusha said in extreme anger. Gu Jingyu said, "I already told you not to do it, but you insisted on coming to my area and hitting my cast member. Tell me, who exactly is the one opposing who?" Lu Chusha pursed her lips and looked at Lin Che. Can I speak to you alone? Lin Che said, is there anything you can't say to me here? Of course, you don't want everyone to know about Gu Jingze's matter, right? Lin Che froze. Of course, she did not. Gu Jingyu was opposed to it. Just by looking at Lu Chusha, he felt that something was amiss. What do you want to talk about? I want to listen too. Lu Chusha said, we're going to talk about some private secrets between us women. Do you want to listen to that too? I don't want to talk to you. I only want to talk to Lin Che. Lin Che stopped Gu Jingyu. That's enough. I'll go with her. It's all right. Gu Jingyu looked at Lin Che and nodded. Fine, then, I'll stand at the side and watch. Lu Chusha, you better not try anything funny. Lin Che walked towards the side. Lu Chusha scoffed before she looked at Lin Che and said, I found out about Gu Jingze's secret. Lin Che froze. What are you talking about? Lu Chusha said, stop pretending like you don't know. I know that Gu Jingze has an illness. He has allergic reactions when he touches several women, although I'm still not sure exactly what it is. But since he can't touch me and can touch you, he likely has allergic reactions to only certain women, right? Lin Che did not say a word and looked at her with pursed lips. She said, this secret definitely can't be made public. Otherwise, his enemies wouldn't need to use guns and bombs anymore. They can simply send women to him, right? Lin Che looked at her. What exactly do you want? If you really care for Gu Jingze, just bear with the brief pain. Otherwise, wouldn't your heart ache for Gu Jingze if he was placed in danger because I leaked the secret? Lu Chusha continued, I'm merely letting Lin Li hit you back so that I can also put this matter to rest. I won't be satisfied until I pay you back for what you did today. Lin Che looked at Lu Chusha. To be honest, it was really just a brief slap. Chapter 409. Do I even have to ask for your permission to bring someone here? She had her fair share of slaps. What was one more? Her mouth twitched and she looked at Lu Chusha. She still could not figure out how Lu Chusha found out about Gu Jingze's secret. However, behind her, Gu Jingyu saw Lu Chusha's expression and felt that something was definitely wrong. He gritted his teeth and tilted his head to look. After a long time, he suddenly walked quickly to them. He pulled Lin Che to him abruptly. Gu Jingyu had unexpectedly interfered again before Lin Che could respond. Lu Chusha found this unpredictable man utterly detestable. Why are you here again, Gu Jingyu? Lu Chusha shouted. Gu Jingyu snorted. Do whatever you want, but today, I won't allow anyone to even touch Lin Che. Gu Jingyu, you'll regret this. I have something on Gu Jingze. Whatever, I'll see if you dare to use it. I'll regret it. You're the one who will regret it if you really dare to use whatever information you have against him. While saying this, without caring about what other people might think, Gu Jingyu took Lin Che with him and walked out. Hey, Lin Che really felt that she was going crazy. This Gu Jingyu was truly too persistent in his own ways. However, Lu Chusha could only stomp her feet in the background as she watched Gu Jingyu take Lin Che away. Lin Li had not expected that even with Lu Chusha to back her up, she would nevertheless be overshadowed by Gu Jingyu. He had simply taken Lin Che away. And there was nothing Lu Chusha could do about it. Why did Lin Che have so many people helping her out? Having failed to get her way this time, Lu Chusha looked around before saying to Lin Li, let's go. We'll get to this bitch eventually. After witnessing such a scene, everyone was thinking to themselves that although Lu Chusha was powerful, the Gu family was completely unafraid of the Lu family. Ultimately, Gu Jingyu was the third young master of the Gu family. He truly had nothing to be afraid of. With him to protect Lin Che was not necessarily in a worse position than Lin Li. While Gu Jingyu was pulling her away, Lin Che looked at Gu Jingyu and said, all right already. She just wanted to slap me once. It's really nothing. It might not have ended with just a slap. I know Lu Chusha pretty well. She's very cunning. You should stay as far away from her as possible. Gu Jingyu continued, by the way, now that she has her eyes on you, it'll be really difficult for you to escape. Why on earth did you get together with my second brother? You'll definitely suffer in the future. There was nothing Lin Che could do about it either. She glared at him as she replayed Lu Chusha's earlier words in her mind. Lu Chusha had discovered Gu Jingze's secret. Would everything really be alright? Outside, a crowd of fans had gathered after somehow finding out that there was an argument going on here. After many difficulties, the security managed to chase everyone away. However, no one knew who had leaked the information about Lin Li wanting to slap Lin Che and Gu Jingze saving her from Lin Li. At the moment, everyone was filled with even more delusional thoughts about Gu Jingze. They thought that Lin Che was unbelievably lucky. It must have been a beautiful sight, the hero saving the damsel in distress. Lin Li had nothing better to do than to create trouble for Lin Che. She was truly deserving of the name of the evil second female lead. Aside from being unable to match up to Lin Che's charm, she only knew to look for trouble at Lin Che's doorstep. When Lin Che was about to go back, Gu Jingze called her. Let's go somewhere together tomorrow. When the time comes, I'll get someone to take you. Oh, alright. As Gu Jingze sounded like he was talking business, Lin Che answered him very quickly as well. After putting down the phone, Gu Jingze called Lu Chusha to tell her that he would be at the Lu residence soon. Lu Chusha had been in a pretty bad mood the entire day. Her mood only lightened considerably when Gu Jingze called. She thought to herself that she had to decorate the house properly today. It would be best if she could invite him into her room and use the chance to see if anything would happen if she touched him this time. She thought that since he was completely fine when he was with Lin Che, perhaps he had allergic reactions only at certain times. Otherwise, how could he have been with Mo Hilling back then? The next day, Lin Che got dressed nicely and got into the car with Gu Jingze. She raised her head and said, "Are we going to some social event?" Gu Jingze said, "You can say that. Are we going to a very high-end place?" "Yes. You'll know when we arrive. There's no need for you to be nervous. In any case, we're just going there for a while." "Oh, alright, I'm not nervous," Lin Che encouraged herself. However, she only realized when they arrived at their destination that it was a little different from what she had expected. It was unexpectedly the Lu residence. Lin Che got out of the car and looked around the courtyard of the Lu residence. It seemed slightly similar to the Gu residence, but at the same time, it seemed a little different. "Good lord, why did you bring me here? Are you mad?" I. By coming into Lu Chusha's territory at a time like this, she was basically committing suicide. But Gu Jingze just looked at her and said, "You don't have to worry about a thing. It's time we laid all our cards on the table." "What?" Lin Che looked at Gu Jingze as he strode in and rushed after him. "What cards?" "Let's go. Leave everything to me." Gu Jingze grabbed Lin Che's hand and clasped it before walking in. Lu Chusha was inside. When she heard that Gu Jingze was here, she immediately became extremely happy. She had invited many people to her house for a party. She had told everyone that she had invited Gu Jingze. Everyone was skeptical and questioned if Gu Jingze was on such good terms with her to the point that he would actually come to her house. Lu Chusha responded very arrogantly by saying, "It's not a big deal for Gu Jingze to come. We've always been really close since we were young. You can actually say that we grew up together. He just prefers to keep a low profile." Everyone thought that it made sense and said enviously to Lu Chusha, "You're so lucky to have grown up together with Gu Jingze. We definitely won't have such a chance anymore. We can only use our association with you to meet Gu Jingze." Lu Chusha said proudly, "Yes. Gu Jingze is more aloof towards outsiders and doesn't like to participate in group events either. However, you guys got pretty lucky today since you'll see him here later. Still, don't get too close to him later. Don't get too excited either. Jingze is a person who doesn't really like noise." Although everyone felt that Lu Chusha was a little too arrogant with no sense of shame. She was so arrogant and conceited that they did, in fact, feel envious. At the same time, they wondered if there was something going on between Gu Jingze and Lu Chusha. While the relationships among these wealthy people were mostly very messy, Gu Jingze always had a good reputation. However, in any case, Lu Chusha was C Nation's top socialite. There were plenty of men who wanted to try something with her just because of her title. Gu Jingze had the same right to do so. Thus, for their relationship to be a little messy, it was completely understandable. Just then, someone outside announced that Gu Jingze was here. Lu Chusha walked out in a hurry. However, the moment she went out, she saw that Gu Jingze had actually brought Lin Che with him. Lu Chusha's smile immediately stiffened. As she looked at them, she felt unexplainably gloomy. Thereafter, she began to get angry. What did Gu Jingze mean by this? Could it be that he was really unafraid of her exposing everything? Without hesitation, Lu Chusha walked towards them angrily. When she caught sight of Gu Jingze and Lin Che, she glared fiercely at the ever-interfering Lin Che first before saying bluntly to Gu Jingze, "I told you to come alone. Why did you bring someone else along?" Gu Jingze looked at Lu Chusha. "When did you ever say that I should come alone? Furthermore, when did I, Gu Jingze, have to ever ask for anyone's permission to bring someone with me?" Chapter 410. Your daughter is here and you're still citing her. Lu Chusha's face was ashen as she looked at him, still wanting to threaten him. Gu Jingze, I don't allow her into my house now. Otherwise, I guarantee that something will happen. Lu Chusha just told people that Gu Jingze was here. She was so satisfied to see everyone's envious gazes. She didn't expect him to actually bring another woman with him. If they saw this, they would be uncertain and think that she was just bragging. Lin Che looked at Gu Jingze worriedly. Gu Jingze was poised as he looked ahead. No emotions could be seen from his seemingly glowing eyes. He looked at Lu Chusha with repressed silence and then said lightly, "Whatever you want to do." Gu Jingze took Lin Che and headed inwards. Lu Chusha was outraged by his nonchalance and pulled Lin Che, "This is my house. She's not going in unless I allow her to," Lu Chusha said agitatedly. From behind, some people already noticed that there was a commotion here. However, looking at the three of them standing there, they didn't dare come forward lest they get implicated in the war. They couldn't afford to offend either side and didn't want to lose their lives. Gu Jingze saw Lu Chusha pulling onto Lin Che. He pushed Lu Chusha's arm away and her entire self in the process. Lu Chusha had never been treated this way by a man, especially not by a man she fancied. She instantly lost control of herself and angrily yelled, "Gu Jingze, you dare to push me? Aren't you afraid that I'll fight you in this matter?" Lin Che looked at Lu Chusha. "Lu Chusha, I know you like Gu Jingze, but what good does it do for you to harm others? Furthermore, if you like him, you shouldn't be thinking about letting anything happen to him." Lu Chusha scoffed, "Don't talk as if you're some saint, Lin Che. Who do you think you are to lecture me?" The people inside listened and looked at Lin Che, who was beside Gu Jingze. They also thought that Lin Che was overestimating herself. Even if she had Gu Jingze at her side, this was the Lu family's house after all. Furthermore, Lu Chusha was the young mistress of the Lu family. She was not afraid on Lu Chusha's turf and Lu Chusha really went up against her. However, at that moment, "Chusha, what are you doing again?" Lu Qinyu's voice boomed from behind. Lin Che turned her head to look. The Lu family's old master was already walking over quickly. He looked at Lin Che and was alarmed as if he was recalling something again. He stopped in his tracks and then said angrily to Lu Chusha, "It's you making noise again, Chusha. They are guests and there are so many people watching. What the hell are you doing standing here?" Lu Chusha huffed, "Father, are you also going to side with an outsider at home and ignore me?" Lu Qinyu grunted and said to Lin Che, "Come on in, Miss Lin. Don't mind this ignorant brat." He immediately pulled Lu Chusha aside and said to Gu Jingze, "I didn't know this brat would also invite you here. Ignore her. Let's talk inside." Without looking at Lu Chusha, Gu Jingze took Lin Che in. Lu Qinyu felt close the moment he looked at Lin Che. He was very warm to her. "It's so hot today. You must have gotten a sunburn standing outside. Come in and see what you want to drink and eat. I'll have them prepared for you." Lin Che smiled and said, "Thank you, sir. I can eat anything. It's all right. Treat this place like your own. You don't need to worry about troubling me. It's rare for both of you to come and you were even treated that way by that brat Chusha. Seriously, I will definitely punish her later." Lin Che thought that by punishing her, Lu Chusha would definitely push all the vengeance on herself. She would rather forget it. No need, no need. I came uninvited, to begin with." Lin Che looked around. This place looked gracefully luxurious and beautifully regal. Indeed, the Lu household was also not an ordinary household. However, Gu Jingyan and Lu Baikan were not around. They had their own place and were like Gu Jingze. They would only come back to the main house if there was anything going on. Lu Qinyu heard this and immediately said, "Not at all. Even without Jingze bringing you here, you can always come here uninvited by yourself. I welcome you any time." Lin Che's heart warmed at this. They met by pure chance, but the old man was indeed very doting on her. He was really a heartwarmingly nice man. Lin Che also laughed warmly and said, "Thank you, sir." "Good girl. Come, sit down, and eat. What would you like to have? I'll get the maids to prepare whatever you want." Lin Che saw that the interior here was also very cozy. It was a style that old people normally preferred. Outside, there was a huge pond with water lotuses lying on top of it. She liked it very much. "Wow, that pond is so beautiful," Lin Che cooed in amazement. Lu Qinyu laughed and said, "Yes. Why, do you like ponds?" "Yes, I like to watch fish and I also like lotuses," Lin Che replied. Lu Qinyu heard this and his gaze deepened. He looked at her as in deep in thought. Then, he laughed and said, "Really? You like lotuses? It's too bad that it's not in season now. The flowers will only bloom in 2 months. "Yeah, but these lotus leaves also look very nice," Lin Che said. "Can I go over to take a look?" "Of course you can. Go ahead," Lu Qinyu pointed outside. Lin Che smiled happily, opened the door, and walked out. Separated by the window, he watched Lin Che look into the water. When the maids brought some fish food to her, Lin Che happily tossed some of it into the water. Gu Jingze was also silently watching and never spoke a word. Suddenly, he said, "It seems like Mr. Lu is very fond of Lin Che." Lu Qinyu turned to him and smiled, "Yes. This lass is really not bad. She's good-hearted, honest, and especially understanding. Yes, she has always been so pure. And she is naturally sociable. I simply like this kind of lass," Lu Qinyu remarked. Gu Jingze said, "I only feel that it can't be simply because of purity that made you dote on her so much." Lu Qinyu sighed and looked at Gu Jingze. This was indeed Gu Jingze, the sensitive Gu Jingze, the uncheatable Gu Jingze. He said, "Actually, yes. I liked her and wanted to dote on her the moment I saw her. It's also because she looks very much like an old friend of mine." "Old friend?" Gu Jingze frowned. Lu Qinyu said, "It's a very long time ago. During those days, I was more popular in the business world. Some friend dragged me to become a university lecturer for a few years." "Oh, I've heard about it. Back then, I spent some time teaching in the countryside." "Okay. At that time, I had a student at the little community I was assigned to. She was very good, very obedient, and she loved to learn. I could tell that she had the ability and was only limited by this small place. So I groomed her hoping that she would be able to learn well and become self-reliant. I hoped that she could enter a good university. After that, she really worked hard. She was also actually very gifted and was admitted into the university that I was teaching at.